Blackstone presents Mercenaries, Gunslingers, and Outlaws, 2 years as a security contractor in Iraq. By Robert M. Kurtz. This book is read by John McLain. Prologue. They say you remember your life in more detail as you get older. I found this to be true, especially in the introspective moments when I'm listening to music and lifting weights or driving somewhere alone. I seem to relive everything I've done in great detail. I feel like I've had a full life and done a lot of amazing things, but there was a time that I still felt like I was missing something. I've climbed mountains and spent a night huddled in a snow cave during a blizzard above the tree line. I trekked across a glacier while roped up with my 2 climbing buddies as it groaned and cracked under our feet. I've explored ghost towns and abandoned mines, including rappelling down into vertical shafts. I've jumped out of a plane at 13,000 feet. I've crossed the North Atlantic twice on a ship during storms raging so bad we had to clip a safety line to the rail while standing watch. I've hiked in the Scottish Highlands and dived in the coral beds off the coast of Cuba. I've passed through the Panama Canal twice. I've been aboard the USS Nautilus, the first nuclear submarine, just before it was decommissioned. I've worked on nuclear submarines and climbed into a 3,000-gallon stainless steel shipboard tank that had previously held radioactive water while wearing an air-fed suit to do a radioactive contamination survey. I've gone solo skiing and backpacking all over the United States. I've been a tank commander and gone barreling across the Mojave Desert at full speed in a tank. I've eaten rattlesnakes cooked over an open fire and flown over the Afghan Hindu Kush in a small plane in the dead of winter. I'm not trying to brag. Well, maybe a little bit. That's a lot of cool stuff, but I know people who have done even more amazing things. But at least my life was never sheltered. I always looked for the next adventure. But despite everything I'd done, I felt my life wouldn't be complete until I had matched myself against war. The ultimate challenge of courage and determination. At least that's how I saw it. I'm sure some of the people listening to this can understand that. I spent 12 years in the U.S. military, 4 years in the Navy, and 8 years in the Army. I went from an E1 to an armor captain. I did a lot of tough training, including 4 years as an officer in the Soviet-style opposing forces, OPFOR, at the National Training Center in the Mojave.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?